Hi everybody, it's Kim, back with a new camera angle because Lord knows I don't know where to film in my apartment anymore. But welcome back to Bookmarks and Breadsticks. Hi and welcome back to Bookmarks and Breadsticks. I'm a little late with this video, but it's time for my 2020 yearly wrap-up. I know a lot of people did the best of 2020 video in December, but I decided to save it till January, and also because I had a lot of stuff going on in my personal life. So today, I am here to talk about all the 5-star books I read this year. I read a total of 97 books in 2020, and 21 of them received 5 stars. Now let me first preface, this is a completely unsustainable number for 2021. COVID made things interesting. There was a lot more reading at home, so I don't really anticipate reading 97 books in 2021. I'll be happy with just 52, which I think 55 was my original goal this year anyway. Okay, so first, the yearly stats, and sorry, I'm looking down over here. My longest book was over 500 pages. My shortest was 100. On average, my book averages from 250 to 350 pages, which makes a lot of sense. A lot of food writing hits around close to 300. It's a pretty nice number. On this list, out of 21, I actually have 4 fiction books. I know, me, 4. So I'm just gonna jump right in. It should come as no surprise that All-American Muslim Girl got a 5 by Nadine Jolie Courtney. I will link in the cards my full review of this book. The second book I read that got 5 stars is Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore by Robin Sloan. I actually read Robin Sloan's other book this year as well. I just needed that book at the right time. I have dreams of owning a used bookstore. Sometimes I wonder if I could take the Open Books nonprofit used bookstore model and take it with me when I move to Buffalo in a couple of weeks. So I just really enjoyed that book. The Authenticity Project by Claire Pooley. Nothing to do with food. 3 books out of, actually no, 1, 2, 3, 4. All 4 of these fiction books have nothing to do with food, but I still gave them all 5 stars. So hey, that's why I'm a mood reader, right? So the third book I read this year, The Authenticity Project by Claire Pooley. I really enjoyed multiple perspectives. I should say one of the protagonists of this book owns a coffee shop, so it kind of has something to do with food. But I love the idea of someone picking up a journal and having it just completely change your life if you're willing to let it. And more, the journal acts as a catalyst to change someone's life. I always know that the books that I give 5 stars, I usually know they're going to be 5 stars because I've given them off to somebody else to read. So All-American Muslim Girl is with my younger sister. The Authenticity Project is with my older sister. And the 4th and final fiction book on this list is The Women in Black by Madeline St. John. This is an older book, and I gave it 5 stars because when COVID first started, when shelter in place first started for me in Chicago in March, this was the first book I read in quarantine. And I was really nervous and really stressed out, and it was a book that brought me a lot of happiness. I'm looking at my camera now and realizing that there's a weird ass shadow on my forehead that makes it look like I have a giant welt. I assure you, I do not have a giant welt on my forehead. It is my hair and lighting. Anyway, sorry. The Women in Black, my mother also enjoyed. It is a movie, it's an international film, and it was just a simple book. And it felt dated, and I was okay with that. And it was about the women in black who worked at this something a la a Macy's, a beautiful Saks Fifth Avenue kind of store, and about their personal lives. And I just found it a delight to read. So my 4 5-star fiction books had nothing to really do with food. Cool for consistency on your YouTube channel, Kim. Okay, now moving over to nonfiction. There are 17 books here that got 5 stars. I've tried to break them into subcategories, the kinds of subcategories of food writing I have spoken about before. So starting with food history, I have 3 5-star books in here. 1, Franchise, The Golden Arches in Black America by Marcia Chatelain, Dr. Marcia Chatelain. The Pot Liquor Papers, A Food History of the Modern South by John T. Edge. and Provence 1970, MFK Fisher, Julia Child, James Beard, and the Reinvention of American Taste by Luke Barr. I have done reviews about Franchise and the Pot Liquor Papers as well, so I please encourage you guys to go click on the links to those solo book reviews. I find my solo book reviews just don't get a lot of views compared to wrap-ups, book hauls, and more booktube friendly things, but I love my book reviews. I love talking about these diverse authors. Franchise is a really great book if you want to understand food in Black America, even beyond fast food, so highly, highly recommend. Another book, wow, 3 books in here all about the Black food experience. Another is Farming While Black, Soul Fire Farm's Practical Guide to the Liberation of the Land by Leah Penniman. I read this as part of the book reading club with Food Tank when I was a writing intern for them the past 6 months. Okay, next area I'll call special topic food. Yeah, we'll call it special topic. 1, The Omnivore's Dilemma, an indulgent odyssey. I just combined 2 book titles together, sorry. The Omnivore's Dilemma, A Natural History of 4 Meals by Michael Pollan. I've read a couple of Michael Pollan's books now. Actually, I read 3 this year. It is one of the cornerstones of American food writing. And it's not just about food, it's really about how humans choose to consume what we consume. It's not really about haute cuisine or the restaurant world. It's really about man's nature as an omnivore and what it means for the global food system and the world in general. Another special topic book that made this list was Tomato Land, How Modern Industrial Agriculture Destroyed Our Most Alluring Fruit. Because yes, tomatoes are a fruit, by Barry Estabrook. This got 5 stars because it just made me so mad. It is about literally how there are just basically modern day slavery happening on these tomato plant farms and how just genuinely fucked up our system is. Do not buy a mass market tomato. Do not buy one out of season. Support your local, seasonal growers. Support your seasonal growers. Just read this book and you will be horrified to learn about the working conditions these people have to deal with. And the final special topic book that made 5 stars this year for me is Copper, Iron, and Clay, A Love Affair with Cookware by Sarah Damon. This is a little bit more of a coffee table book, but it does have a lot of really beautiful research about different types of cutlery. Sarah is a coppersmith. She actually makes copper products, and I really hope I get to buy one day. I think a pot or a saucepan is around $400, so it's a steep investment, but it will last you forever, and you're supporting an artisan. So her Instagram, also amazing to see the stuff that she works with. I actually gave this book I bought a copy of this book for my friend Stu as a gift. He had hosted us in the summer when I was traveling back and forth to visit my family, and he loves to barbecue and smoke, and I really thought he'd love this book. Okay, new area. We've done special topic, we've done food history. Now we're gonna go into food and travel, and this is usually a journalist's personal experiences learning about a topic. 5-star for American Cheese, an indulgent odyssey through the artisan cheese world. He focuses primarily on artisanal cheeses in the United States. I did a full review of that book as well, and even got to taste one of the cheeses from the book, which was awesome. So please go check that out. The second is Eat Like a Fish, My Adventures as a Fisherman Turned Restorative Ocean Farmer by Bren Smith. This book won the James Beard Award. This book won the James Beard Award this year for nonfiction writing. So it's not just me who thinks this book is good. Lots of people think it's good. What I loved about Bren Smith's book is that he swears like a sailor and he warns you up front, and he's not a scholar. He's a very approachable man. He's like, this is what I was doing. I became a fisherman, and then I noticed the fish were disappearing, and here's how I changed things. I love how hard Bren Smith works, but I also love how he's a regular human, and that if Bren can do his part, I can do my part, and you can do your part to help save the environment and partake in these restorative actions. The final book, which was one of the first books I actually read in 2020, is We Fed an Island, The True Story of Rebuilding Puerto Rico, One Meal at a Time by Jose Andres. Jose Andres is a very famous chef, one of the best of the world, but his humanitarian efforts are amazing. This book had me crying. He just got on a plane and said, I'm going to Puerto Rico after the hurricanes that had happened. And he's like, I'm here to help. And he started by making fucking cheese sandwiches with mayo. Mayo cheese bread. He just set up shop and he was gonna feed this island. And this chef who really, like, humanitarian efforts, they mean well, but you learn like the really sleazy parts of like winning contracts to be the supply chain that makes the food to help these people who don't even have electricity or natural running water. Like, it was infuriating. I adore Jose Andres. If I could ever meet him, I just want to shake his hand. I don't even care if I never get to eat his food. He cares about people. He has been in New York City helping supply meals for the COVID-19 like relief effort to the medical teams. Eric Ripert has also been doing that. So mass shout outs to Eric Ripert at La Bernardin. I do follow him on Instagram. But Jose Andres gives. He has never let his wealth or his success influence him. He has, if anything, used it to help other people. And that is what I appreciate about this man and this book. Okay, I think I'm okay on time. I don't want to lose you guys. I find that after like 12 minutes, I start to see this like steep fall off of my viewers. Hang in there. Final section is memoirs, which, to surprise to no one, I have the most 5-star memoirs. That made sense, right? I gave the most 5 stars out to memoirs because I love memoirs and I love the chef experience, but I love authentic storytelling. I love people speaking their own truths. So, memoirs. Eat a Peach by David Chang. Rebel Chef, In Search of What Matters. I did do a book duos with Dominique Rennes' book, along with Burn the Place in the cards, or you should subscribe. Wine Girl, The Trials and Triumphs of America's Youngest Sommelier by Victoria James. Also did a book duo on that. You should watch it. Small Fry, a memoir by Lisa Brennan Jobs. This had nothing to do with food. It was about Steve Jobs' daughter, and I found it heartbreaking and infuriating, but it was a wonderful read. Jello Girls, A Family History by Allie Rowbottom. Now, this book is this family is like cursed, but it was really interesting to learn about Jello and how money impacts people, especially when you're born into this kind of money. Highly recommend. I thought about covering it in the Sweet series. I might still do that. Let me know below. And finally, 2 last ones. Where I Come From, Life Lessons from a Latino Chef by Aaron Sanchez. I got his book, actually, I think it came out last October, but I read it in January, and I'm really excited because it's autographed. Aaron Sanchez might be a name you know or recognize. He was a big part of the Food Network for many years, and now he's one of the judges on MasterChef. It's really nice to read about a Latino chef, someone who came up in the gang experience and got out of it. It was really nice for me to diversify my reading and just learn about other people. I mean, I guess you could say the same thing for David Chang because he is Korean. I am not. And the final memoir on here, I Hear She's a Real Bitch by Jen Agg. Jen Agg really opened my eyes more to the world of charcuterie and how you can make a successful business around charcuterie, but also a lot of the sexism that she had to overcome to become a successful restaurateur. It was, honestly, I'm very pleased with the books I gave 5 stars to. There really aren't any on this list I would lower to 4 or somewhere in between. Ranking systems, they're all arbitrary anyway. But I am really excited about the 21 unique 5-star books I was able to share with you guys today. Are there any books on this list that you would like a more in-depth review on? Should Jello Girls be part of this Sweet series? Let me know in the comments below. Please consider going over and, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and go give that solo book reviews playlist some love. I will admit that it is an underperforming playlist compared to other content on this channel, but it's the content that's the most important to me. I want to continue to bring you really great book reviews. If you want to support me and this channel, I have links to the Read It and Eat box below, but you can also help me out in other ways by buying me a cup of coffee, subscribing to my Patreon, or in general, just spreading the word about this channel. You could join my e-newsletter over at booksandbread.com or follow me on Instagram. I hope you are all well. Please wear a mask, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.